Please call the roll.
Freeholder Di Nicola.
Here.
Freeholder Felice.
Here.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Here.
Freeholder Voss.
Here.
Freeholder Zor.
Here.
Chairman Tonelli.
Here. Evidence of a quorum is present. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just one quick announcement before we begin. On behalf of the board, we'd like to wish everyone a happy Martin Luther King Jr. Remembrance Day this coming Monday, January 18th. There'll be a morning prayer service in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s 87th birthday. It's sponsored by the Bergen County African American Advisory Committee. That service will take place at 10 a.m. at the Fairleigh Dickinson University Hackensack campus at the Martin Luther King bronze statue on the river pathway. Thank you. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. We will now have a hearing of the general public with 3-minute time limit in effect. The board attorney will keep the time. When the time of that speaker expires, the timekeeper will announce that the time has expired. Please fill out a card with your name, address, and general topic. Anybody like to speak? First, we have Justin. You're going to have to excuse me with my pronunciation. Frashe?
Pretty close.
Good. Good start.
Steve, where's your glasses?
I can see it, I just can't say it.
Frasche, and that was actually pretty close. I've heard Frosh, Fraish, Frashe. It's pretty close. It's Frashy. So I was at Bergen County Board of Social Services today, or the Rochelle Park thing, and they gave me this letter pretty much terminating my assistance, denying me eligibility for food stamps, and when I asked why, they said it was because of a federal regulation saying that I'm a student and thus ineligible. And then they also said that because I did not work the minimum of 20 hours. Although they had no regard for the fact, and it applies to all of their workers and all of the supervisors I spoke to, which I have their names. They had no regard for the fact that I am in fact a homeless youth. I live at Visions Independent Living Program in Hackensack, New Jersey, which is under the Department of Family Guidance. I do not have a place to stay. I have received a housing choice voucher under the county, and I'm very thankful for it. But I do not have the money to come up for the security deposit. If I do not have the general assistance, I do not have the TRA. The TRA was how I was going to get it. And there are other agencies, but many of them don't have funds. So I am at a loss. I don't know what to do about this situation, and the response that they gave me was completely inadequate, and their response was just, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to do.
Chairman Mayor?
Sure.
Just the first thing you're going to do is you're going to give a photocopy. My aide's going to take those papers so that we can photocopy that, and I can talk directly with the folks down at the Board of Social Services and see if there is something to do. Some of the challenges are the federal guidelines requiring different pieces that may be challenging to navigate. But we're going to help you try and figure out how we can, if there are ways that we can navigate them, or if there's other programs that you might be eligible for. So
all right.
We're going to get that right back to you. I know that you called my office today. I tried to reach you back between the two meetings and was not able to do so.
That's
I'm
okay.
glad that you're here tonight, and we will see what we can do to help you.
Yes. Thank you. That calms my concerns personally, but my greater concern as a voter and as a recipient of services is the lack of transparency in that government facility, and the pretty much the universe.
Mr. Fresh.
The challenge is that
The
the volume of guidelines that go on from the federal government on this are very complicated. And it's not an issue of transparency from the staff there. It's just that it's very hard to distill this cacophony of regulations from the federal government. And we'll do what we can do to see how we can help you navigate it.
Thank you.
All right. Paul Nichols.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Paul Nichols, Nickels. Good evening. Happy New Year. Congratulations, all of you. I'm gonna have to. It's gonna take some time. I don't want to say. I'm so used to saying chairwoman. So, congratulations.
He's used to it.
My time is limited, so I know I'm really excited about doing point time count this year, which is really important. But I've been posting some things, and I've been. On social media, I've been very confused. This is just something to think about. HUD runs the TRA program, and we spoke about this before. So I am very clear it's not the county, but the county facilitates it. And we're doing a point in time count, and it's very important to do that. Absolutely. We will not stop doing it. But why are we fighting, the federal government? It seems like we're fighting with them because they're taking away our people's TRAs, they're inciting people's homelessness, and they're doing something with the funds, but yet we're going out counting people so we can get funding from the same agency. So maybe something's wrong with me, but I just wanted you to think about that. Maybe, I just don't know. That's just very confusing to me because we're trying to end homelessness, and HUD post these wonderful little pictures on Facebook. Oh, we're ending homelessness, and I just don't like it because, in my eyes, they're really not. But I look forward to doing the count. And the other good news is, we'll go to the good news. Of course, I did the new resource guide, so that's out. And Pastor Don says hello to everybody, and the River Mission and Community Health Center has a new day program starting Tuesdays, 11 to 2. Church is open for historical tours. Go to pray, whatever you want to do, and the main buildings for, warming center, whatever. And the last thing I just want to say is I really want to thank County Executive Mr. Tedesco and his staff and the staff at Bergen Regional. There's a whole section in this guide. There's a wealth of resources about Bergen Regional in here. So, and happy 100-year birthday to them. So, congratulations, Happy New Year, and it's going to be very interesting, and thank you so much for everybody, all the new appointees on the board of Bergen County Mental Health Board. Especially, I'm really excited to see Mr. Ortiz back, because he was a really, really good person. And he's definitely going to be an asset to that. So I'm going to give John a copy of this to make for you guys, and that's about it. If you just think about that HUD thing, but let's do the point in time count and really get all the homeless wherever they can be, because there's about 45 homeless that I know of. That's only what I know of, rough guess, right now, not including families and domestic violence victims that have nowhere to go.
Are the homeless in the homeless shelter, or are they without?
The ones that I'm mentioning?
Yeah.
No, they're scattered throughout the county. Because I have people, I have a UPS store in Mahwah that's a friend of mine, and he's told me about some. I have some Mahwah, MEVO, which is the environmental group over there, that tells me about some, and some people in different areas.
Are there shelters for them?
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's shelters for them. The domestic violence victim, that's a different story.
I know, well, that's
a tough situation.
No, but with this weather, that's why my concern.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to reach out to them, because some don't have phones. So, but we're gonna do it, because I've got the list. I'm gonna make calls and talk to Human Services on Thursday when I do the pit training. So, and then we're gonna try and contact everybody we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, the point in time count that Paul's referring to takes place on January 27th, and there's a whole host of volunteer activities that go on down at the homeless shelter that day. I know that the county executive's office is doing a drive for gift cards as well as for socks and for gloves and other things for the homeless shelter for that day. So anyone who wants to make those donations, please do so at the county building.
And services for them. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right.
Mr. Durfee?
Thank you, Edward Durfee in Northville. Happy New Year, of course, to everyone, and congratulations, Mr. Chairman. If I could, I was just was concerned about the resolution that I had presented to the board. I hadn't heard anything about that, and I didn't know if I should be coming here to ask, or if I was going to get an email, or how does that work?
This is still under review, Mr. Durfee, and when that's completed, I'll confer with the chairman and determine what the game plan will be, if any.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michelle Talano?
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations on your new appointments. I wish you success in a very conservative way. I just want to mention that the website, the minutes are still not correct. So I know we talked about it last month, but I just wanted to draw to your attention that the dates are not correct. They have 2014 still. So I just want to mention that it should be accurate. Nobody can really follow what's happening without that. Thank you.
Only a couple of them that were accidentally dropped in 2014 instead of 2015. So that's the discrepancy. So I'll check with IT again. But I told them about it.
So what's being said is that there's some discrepancies. Some of them may have been put in the wrong year, so they're going to look at it. We're looking to get it correct.
It was accidentally dropped in the IT department. And so I've been making phone calls to have it switched out, and they're kind of confused, like, why do you want it out when you told us to put it? It's just a communication thing, but
Thank you
we're
for
working
bringing it
on
to
it.
our
Thank you for
attention.
bringing it to our radar, though.
Okay, we'll give it one more try.
Okay.
How do I say this?
Sound it out.
I apologize. McCann Sawn, or Saw? I apologize.
People forget to take their hats off.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm an employee of the City of Inglewood, and a few of my colleagues are here with me because we want to voice our support for Mr. Jim Cott, whose appointment is being considered by this body. It is common knowledge today that the average person would not stand for a cause unless he or she can derive some benefits, whether directly or indirectly, from doing so. Yet there are a few people whose conscience and faith would not permit them to ignore injustice. For some time we watched in discomfort as certain allegations were made against our former director, Mr. Coe. We cannot and will not allow this to continue, especially since his integrity has been called into question. By this time, most people would not doubt the fact that Mr. Coe, within 2 years, has transformed the Inglewood DPW and made it into a modern facility. We are now prepared to deal with almost any contingency. We have therefore come here to offer our unqualified support for Mr. Coe and sincerely hope that the Bergen County Freeholders would not hesitate any further to give this outstanding gentleman what he undeniably deserves. And I speak on behalf of a lot of my fellow employees who are here and will voice this young opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lynn Algren?
Sure. Lynn Allgrant, City of Englewood. ALGRANT, and it's LYNNE. Good evening, Happy New Year. I am the Chief Executive Officer of the Bergen Volunteer Center, but I'm here tonight as a former council person at large in the City of Englewood. I just want to speak on behalf of Jim Koth and his appointment as the Director of Parks for the county. Jim, as DPW Director, really turned around the department. He created a system to innovate and to bring in new technology. They went from a department where we routinely heard complaints to where we routinely heard praise. And as you know, it's rare that people take the time to tell us when folks have done a good job. And under Jim's leadership, we heard that a lot, and we were able to reflect that back to the department. The other thing that I appreciated so much about Jim is that he was always available. Staff members I know could walk in at any time and tell him their ideas for how to do their jobs better. And residents and community groups were always able to get access to him to talk about the parks, what to do with a vacant lot in their neighborhood, whatever they had. He was always available. As I know you guys are aware, Jim is a nationally recognized landscape architect and parks director. We're so lucky to have him, and I hope that you won't hesitate at all to support him. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joseph Kurtz. You're good? Okay. Juan Dubian.
Okay. Wonderful. Yes, Juandubon.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Happy New Year.
To you too.
Well, I don't have much to say because she say everything about Jean Cut. You are the lucky guys who steal my boat from England. All I can say about Jim, he's a great person. As a boss, a little tough because he showed me I learned a lot of things from him. How be, because I'm a supervisor down there, I'm maintenance supervisor. I handle the whole equipment in Englewood, plows from a weed whacker all the way to the baccalaureates. Now we have a big one because he bought it too. We used to have it just small. Okay, so all I can say about Jean is a really, as a person, like a great person, as a boss, really good boss, tough when he needed, but it's a very sincere person. Like I said before, Angeles, you take it here, and then you should know, you should see what he did because when I started in England 21 years ago, never worry about to changing English or nothing. We've been using telephone from, I think, in the past century. We don't know who called. We got to pick the phone. And sometimes a vendor, sometimes, but we don't have a choice. When Jim get there, he look and everything and say, how do you guys working here with this kind of, I say, we don't have no choice. We got to use what we have. So Jim changed everything. If you saw the office that we enjoyed, that we had before, compare what we have now, you should say, oh my God, who was here? Unfortunately, he spent only short time with us, 2 years, but in 2 years he did more than the last board that I was there for 12 years. Yeah, more than that he did in 12 years. Not even 2 years. Equipment, technology, and we still receiving equipment when he left. He purchased because the first thing he did was when he got there, elevate the morale from us. DPW and Anglo never was taken into consideration for other departments. Police department, DPW, who's DPW? Fire department, who's DPW? Now we are on a different level. Thanks to who? Jean Carr. All right. So I think you should. I don't say, but I think you should.
3 minutes, Mr. Pabon.
Yeah, you should get the experience for this gentleman to make it park in Bergen County better every day.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank you.
Wilmer DeBoe.
D-I-L-N-E-R.
And last name?
Dubon. D-U-B-O-N.
B-O-N? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wilmer Dubon. I'm from Englewood. I also work at the DPW. I've been working there for 9 years. And I can tell you our lab director was nothing compared to Mr. James Cup. Mr. James Cup was the person who brought the DPW back to the map. And to show us accountability, to show us respect to all the people, respect for people that really like to work. There's a person, Mr. Cut is a very professional and respectful person, and you probably already know that. So what I'm saying here is we're just trying to support this great person, who you gotta be lucky to have him here, and I really hope that our Bergen County Parks is gonna get better because you have him with you guys. And all I'm here to tell you is to please don't get fooled for what these other people are saying against this great person, because all of those type of things that they're saying, they're all false. I got a family, I got kids, I got girls, and I could tell you on the name of them that all of those type of things that these people are saying, they're all false. That person right there is a great person. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Truppi?
So fast. John, T-R-O-U.
Let me say good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name again is John Chu. I'm a mechanic at DPW, and I'm more than honored and privileged to be working with Mr. James Cott. He's been an inspiration to me, and all of the above that other people have spoken of him, it is true. And as for me, what I like most is with Mr. Jim, he's not a clock watcher. He don't watch his time. I'm working like late shift, like 2 to 10, and sometimes very late he would be still working up there. I don't know how he do it. And in the morning early, he would be still on the job. I'm more than privileged, as I said, to have known him and to work with him. And the other thing that inspired me really is that, like some boss, he says, go do. He was not like that. He said, come, let's do. He showed you how to do things. And as everybody said, he set an example, a precedent for every one of us to follow. I would want to highly recommend him, and you guys will be proud of his achievement and what he will do to your department. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very nice, this guy's.
Not seeing anyone else who wishes to speak, I now take a motion to close the meeting. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Will the clerk please read the resolutions on the consent agenda?
Resolutions 8-16 through 50-16 and 52-16 through 57-16.
May I have a motion to accept the resolutions on the consent agenda? Call the roll, please.
Freeholder Di Nicola.
Yes.
Freeholder Felice.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Yes.
Freeholder Voss.
Yes.
Freeholder Zur.
Yes.
Chairman Tinelli.
Yes. Are there any resolutions on non-consent pulled or tabled? If so, will the clerk please read them?
There's one resolution that was pulled, 51-16.
Just so everyone that came and spoke on Mr. Cott's behalf, we just approved his position, just so that you all know that the board voted unanimously to support Mr. Cott tonight. Will the clerk please read ordinance 16-1 by title only, please?
Okay. Ordinance ordinance amending the administrative code to create a public safety communications advisory board to advise on matters regarding 911 and dispatch services.
Is there any board member like to discuss or comment on that ordinance? If not,
Just briefly, Chairman. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to have a feedback and a dialogue regarding the emerging technologies. And I look forward to it being populated by not just police, but also by EMS and fire as well. Thank you.
thank you. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 16-1?
So moved.
Second.
Second. You want to yell at you like Tracy? Like Joan did?
Dina Cole.
I'm sorry, what second?
I have Dina Cole.
Oh, I thought it was Tom.
Yes.
Okay. Freeholder DiNicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan?
Yes.
Freeholder Boss?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairman Tinelli?
Yes. Clerk, please read.
Oh, and 16-1 passes first reading.
Sorry. Will the clerk please read ordinance 16-2 by title only?
16-2 is an ordinance amending ordinance 14-16, setting standards, regulations, and rates for law enforcement agency requested and non-preference motor vehicle towing and storage services for the county of Bergen.
Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance 16-2?
So moved.
Actually, you need discussion
Yeah,
on
we're not
that.
going to do discussion. We're skipping it.
Is there any discussion?
No.
No,
Okay.
we're not going to discuss on
Okay.
first readings anymore.
Okay.
Can I get a motion on introduce ordinance 16-2 as it's read by the
So
clerk?
moved.
I'll second that.
Call the roll, please.
Freeholder DiNicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan?
Yes.
Freeholder Voss?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairman Tinelli?
Yes.
Ordinance 16-2 passes first reading.
Now have freeholder committee reports. Freeholder Sullivan.
Thank you, Chairman Tinelli. It's got a nice ring to it. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. Just a few little things I want to talk about. I want to thank all my colleagues on the Freeholder Board for my assignments as the chairman of the Transportation Committee and the Planning Committee. I look forward to working with everyone on the board on these issues that are very important to the county. There's a lot of issues out there with transportation, like we all know. It's the Hudson-Bergen Light Rail, which we need to finish the Bergen portion of it, so it's not just the Hudson Light Rail, right? So hopefully now that we have some kind of guidance in the Assembly with the money going into the transportation fund, we can pony up and get that done. That's very important. This past Saturday, Chairman Tinelli and myself, we went to the Habitat for Humanity in Bergenfield on a plot of land that was donated by the apartments behind it. And we had a groundbreaking ceremony there. For anyone who doesn't know it, I'm sure everyone knows what Habitat Humanity does. They take a piece of land, they give people get an interest-free mortgage, but they're required to do 400 hours of work on that home, along with other volunteers. And there's a procedure where the person is picked for that based on a whole bunch of criteria. But it's really a way to get somebody into a home who probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to do it prior to that. And it's a great program, and like I said, the chairman and I were there to kick it off, and we'd like to wish everyone well. It happened to be in Bergenfield, right where I grew up, and a piece of land I used to play in, but that's okay, because there's more land behind it. So. But I just want to wish everyone well. I want to thank the committee for that. And that's really my report, Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Gans?
This is the, I've showed this before, but for each of the Martin Luther King Jr. birthday celebrations, I show this picture of Dr. King taken about 2 weeks before he was assassinated. This took place in my hometown of Rockville Center, New York, and I'm in the picture at the rear wall. It was a remarkable experience to see Dr. King in person, and even more remarkable to listen to him talk about the various causes of the day. I certainly did not understand at the time him speaking out on behalf of the sanitation workers of Memphis. I have long since read everything that I can read about it, and it's a unique bond that I have on the African American Advisory Committee. I'm fortunate to have as colleagues there, where I'm the liaison to this board, some individuals who were actually at the March on Washington in 1963 and heard the speech of the mountaintop, and they were just this distance away, and it's just something marvelous. Brand new year, and the new year be if I didn't mention Bergen Wellness. I'll try not to do this too often, but I just want to call your attention to the fact that if you have a pet who uses medicine, this is a discount card that the county has, which will work in your favor. It'll knock 30% off the price and can be used at 55,000 pharmacies across the United States. My own Tonkinese cat, Mimi, who has diabetes and is now slowly leaving us with subcutaneous fluids now every day. But here's the point. The diabetic medication, insulin, would cost $300 on a monthly basis. With this card, it comes down 30% to $210. It's a great card because it doesn't cost anything. You can use it at the pharmacies, and we also have, those of you know, it can be used for humans as well. The discounts there are sometimes more, sometimes less, and it's something that you should all consider. More than $15 million in savings have already accrued to Bergen County consumers who have used this. And condolences, Earl DeVos, on the loss of your cat, King Arthur.
Thank you.
That concludes my report, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Di Nicola?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I want to ask, do you give your cat an IV every day? Okay.
I do too.
Wow. You really love that cat. That's. It's a new year, and I too would like to thank the chairman for my committee assignments. Once again, I'm on Public Works and Parks, Community Development, and as one of the liaisons for Veteran Services. So I truly look forward to continuing a lot of the work that we have begun over the last several years. With veterans, most importantly, some of the initiatives to prevent suicides among our young veterans. And the second issue is a follow-up to a state legislative hearing that had taken place in Bergen County, and that is how veterans, especially veterans who are suffering from PTSD, are treated by the judicial system. We'd very much like to meet with the new prosecutor and look at a successful program that's been put in place by the prosecutor in Ocean County. I wanted to point out on our agenda this evening too, Resolution 54-16, which was a community development grant to the Borough of Montvale for a senior housing project. Senior housing is another issue that has really started to affect us here in Bergen County. Seniors are the fastest growing segment of our population, not only in the county, not only in the state, but also in the nation. And it will be 30 times as large as it is now, very shortly. And we all probably will need the assistance and the housing that we're working on. But it's great to see projects like this take place, and it's great that a lot of this happens through the conduit of our own county. I want to mention that today is the actual Korean American Day, and earlier this morning I was with Freeholder Voss and Freeholder Zur in Palisades Park with the Korean American Association of New Jersey. We participated in their celebration. The room had more honored guests, I'll say, more elected officials than the public. That's how many people were there. But so many of them were members of the community, and they were there just like us to say thank you for a lot of the contributions that we here in Bergen County have benefited from the Korean American community here. I want to mention quickly too, tonight Bergen Grassroots is giving their Byron Bear Award to the former assignment judge of Bergen County, Peter Doyne. He was the recipient this year for a whole body of work that he has done for the county, but all under the name of openness and transparency in government, for which grassroots and certainly Byron Bear was a champion of. The whole Open Public Meetings Act is based on his legislation, and it's something that we all aspire to continue. And the last thing I want to say is something that I know we all have to work much harder at, and that is bringing back to Bergen County the money that we send to Trenton. As a county, we receive such a small percentage in return than any other county in the state. And when we talk about issues like transportation and other projects, we need to lobby so that the state will help us fund them, so that the burden doesn't fall solely on us as a county or as municipalities. It's an issue that grows, and we have to be loud voices for everyone here in Bergen. And that's the end of my report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Freeholder Voss, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations. Okay. Yeah. I think all of us attended many of the swearing-in ceremonies in the different towns, and I want to say congratulations to all the newly elected people. It's a wonderful thing to be able to serve your community or your county or your state. And I wish everybody would get involved in it, because it is something that we all need to do as part of our, politics is an avocation. It is not a vocation. And so we don't do this as a full-time job. We do this as something that's service to our communities. Just want to go over the fact that this was the 113th anniversary of the landing of the first Koreans in the United States. Actually, it was in Hawaii. About 120 people came over. And today, just in Bergen County, we have in excess of 60,000 Koreans, and growing and making many, many contributions. We had a program here on Monday night which was very well attended, and I think the Koreans have been very generous in sharing their culture with us, and we with them, and it's truly been a wonderful integrative process. This morning, as Freeholder DeNicola said, we went to today is the actual day, January 13th, okay, but we had a program on Monday because it was not possible to have it tonight because we have a freeholder meeting tonight, okay? But there were so many people, and one of the nice things is that so many of the Korean Americans now are getting very involved in politics. They're very interested, and I wish that everybody would take, heed of that. I serve as liaison to the Asian board, so we're going to be doing many more things with a lot of different groups because we are a very diverse county. I'm very happy to once again be on the Board of Social Services, because one of the things that I think is so important is for us to let people know the many, many services that we have available. And we just moved into, well, not just recently, but into a new building, and so the facilities are being upgraded, and we had a young lady make a presentation to us last night about how to access, because most people don't know how to access getting assistance. This young man that was here this evening is an example of this, okay? And so we're trying to make things much, much more readily available to people who need it. And one of the committees that I'm on with the Board of Social Services is to try and prevent people who do not deserve to get assistance from getting assistance. And last year we saved over $300,000 that people were getting that didn't deserve to get this. Anyway, just a couple of things. One of my fervent wishes is that we have so many towns in Bergen County, over 70 towns, and we are now beginning to develop housing for people with disabilities. And I know in my town, the project is well on the way. Allendale, I always got Allentown, Pennsylvania. Allendale has 2 projects like this. Tenafly has one, and if every town did this, we wouldn't have people who were homeless and with disabilities and things of that sort. Stigma-free. I was at a Rotary meeting the other day, and somebody got a brochure from the Bergen County saying, "Oh, look, stigma-free," as if they had just discovered it. And I think at this point in time, we must have about 23 towns that have joined Access for All and stigma-free, and hopefully we'll get all the towns. And so I look forward to this year, and again, congratulations, and to everybody, happy, healthy New Year.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Felice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Budget Chairman for the Freeholder Board and looking at the budget that we'll be getting from the County Executive, he did, Jimmy Tedesco spoke about some of the challenges that are going to be for his administration, but also for our board. So I hope to utilize the same format as we used last year, about 5 to 6 days of budget hearings from 8 until about 3. I'm going to ask each freeholder, once they get the budget, to present to me unfiltered those changes and requests regarding additions or subtractions of the particular line items. And then to recap, to Lisa Scapulapore's recommendation last year, which worked tremendously, is we had a recap with the administration, even though our fiduciary responsibility is to pass the budget, but we had the chairman, the county executive, we had the CFO, and come together, as well as the freeholders, to discuss how and which to bring together a budget that is acceptable to the people of Bergen County. So it's going to be, and whenever we get the budget, we get it. I mean, that the reality is we got it late last year, but we were able to get it in front of this board for an approval, so that we can't afford to not have it done on time because of the side effects of then the communities can't strike a tax rate for their communities. Being a member of the Bergen Regional Task Force, I'm with Vice Chair Tracy Zuhr. It's going to be here again, one of the most important things I do during my last year as freeholder. It's going to effectuate the lives of thousands of people for decades to come. Healthcare is changing as we speak, unlike maybe 50 years ago or 60 or 30 years ago. And how we approach this is going to be so much dependent on thinking outside the box, but understanding the landscape that confronts us as a board and as people on the committee. I'm very honored to be on that committee, and I hope I could be a reasonable voice on that. And just lastly, being my last year as freeholder, it has been a privilege for the last 5 years doing this. Never thought I'd be a freeholder, but here I am. But working with each and every one of you, the past freeholders, the current freeholders, interfacing with all the different committees that I've been on, speaking to constituents, which is really the main goal of what I do, is to listen. It has been a life-enriching experience. And it's almost good in a way that I have a stopwatch that's on December 31st is going to end it, because it's going to force me to really do as much as I can to work with each and every one of you on the board, on the other side of the building, with the constituency, with every aspect of life in Bergen County. So I'm very blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. We're certainly not doing a victory lap yet. You're still here with us. And I'm glad you're here.
12 months.
That's right. 11.
Freeholder Zuhr?
How many days?
Who's chairman?
Thank you. We did a lot by consent agenda tonight, and there's just a couple things that were on that agenda that I want to single out because I think they're pretty remarkable. One of the things that we did this evening was appoint 14 individuals to the LGBTQ Advisory Committee. That is a committee that took a lot of hard work to get up and going, commitment from the administration that they followed through on, to really listen to the voices of so many in our community and incorporate their concerns so that county government can be responsive to the needs of the community. I want to thank Jared Lautz and thank all of the individuals who are going to be volunteering their time and giving their energy and their effort to really bringing these interests to the forefront. So I want to thank all those individuals for their service in advance. I also want to thank all of the division heads and the department heads who we approved this evening. You know, there are so many people who have been working, and they deserve the accolades, not just of our approval and our endorsement of the work that they have done, but they've been doing outstanding work, and I thank them for their service to this county. They are on the front lines in so many different departments, whether it's Sudibiak and adolescents alcohol, or Robert Esposito in community development, doing some Maluka and economic development. And I could go on. It's in the agenda, but sorry, I had a lot of coffee before the meeting.
Just give me a wink.
I'm sorry, Kim. I already wrote my resolution to slow down. All of you are doing superlative work every single day, so I thank you. Chairman, I thank you for my appointments this year. Also excited to be chair of Health Committee, Law and Public Safety, Shared Services, to be on board of Social Services again with Freeholder Voss, Bergen Regional Medical Center with Freeholder Felice on the advisory panel. We have a lot of great work ahead of us as we continue to try and improve things in Bergen County for all the residents, and we're all ready to roll up our sleeves. Thanks.
Thank you. So, having a great short work session, I'm trying to make my first meeting a short one. So I'm going to not have a report tonight. I'd just like to first thank our clerk and her staff for making my first meeting go so smoothly today. It's not an easy chore to get all this stuff together for each one of the member of the boards. There's a lot of questions, a lot of changes that happen throughout the day. So I'd like to say thank you. I'd also like to thank my colleagues for their comprehensive reports. I don't think the people of Bergen County know just how much time and effort and work goes into the things that we do each and every day representing them on this board. I'd also like to just remind everybody about Monday's service at Fairleigh Dickinson University at 10 a.m. To celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s 87th birthday. It'll be at the Bronze Monument. And our next meeting will be January 20th, Wednesday, 4:30 in the Gerald Calabrese meeting room. There'll be the first work session, and then our public meeting, that'll be on January 27th. So there being nothing further before this board, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
When you do that, let me just say that there are other Martin Luther King services that are going on. They'll be at Mount Olive and also at Ebenezer.
Right.
Check the websites for the times. There was some conflict last week as to how they were going to order out.
Thank you, Freeholder. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. We're adjourned.